You're probably here because you're hoping to improve your team, and you are certainly in the right place. Hopefully, you've been on teams and you work on teams that are enjoyable and that are doing quite well. But if you're like me, you've probably been on a lot of teams that aren't so joyful and exciting to work on. I'm Stephen Wolff, and I developed the Inspired Teams framework. When I was a professor, I had the privilege of working with students and peering deep into the inner workings of their teams, almost like having an x-ray, because I had them writing journals and papers about their teams. And what I found was a number of things, but two really important things. One, there's a lot of suffering in teams. And two, a lot of that suffering is needless. And I also came to conclude that a lot of the wisdom on teams is misguided. And so that began my journey. Now, you might be wondering, what is Inspired Teams? And the way I think of it is it's a guide. It's a guide that will help you create a culture in your team that's exciting and joyful and less stressful and more productive. So you might be asking, well, how does it work? What is different about it? My experience, there's two schools of thought on developing teams. One is focused on collaboration to improve how people work together. And my work on team emotional intelligence, which was the predecessor to Inspired Teams, is an example. The other side is focused on process, and Agile is a really good example of that. Agile focuses mainly on process, much less on the human side of teams. Inspired Teams does both. And what you get when you have an inspired team is you get a team where the culture is joyful. It's exciting to work. You want to get out of bed and go to work in the morning. If you're interested in evaluating your team and finding out where does your team stand in terms of an inspired team culture, you can go to the Comparative Agility website and you can sign up and you can take a survey, and it will give you information about where your team stands in creating this inspired culture. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the framework and what it is and how it works and how to build that culture, you can go to my website. It's stephenwolff.com, and you will get some very helpful information that will give you some understanding of the framework that you can use to build your team. So again, Comparative Agility, you can get the survey. stephenwolff.com, you can get some more information about what that framework is and how to use it.